So I want to take it back to this past year. You wrap up the AAA season on September 24th. Seems like you're ready for the off season, but then Kurt Casale goes on the paternity list, and Cal Raleigh's dealing with the thumb injury, and boom, here comes your first call up to the major league level. And lo and behold, you arrive on one of the greatest days of Mariners history, the night they ended the drought, of course. Could you tell us what that whole experience was like for you that day? Because it had to be crazy, right?
Um, yes, it was very crazy. When I found out I was getting the call, the short version of it is it was I think about 11:30 on in Arizona. So all my family's back on the East Coast. Try and call them, they don't answer. Finally get a hold of them. My wife beat me out to Seattle. She flew first thing out in the morning because we had a hurricane coming in Raleigh. So she got on an airplane. She beat me out to Seattle. Mom and dad got out there. Um, and I was delayed coming out of Arizona, delayed coming into Seattle. So I didn't get everything was very rushed for me. And obviously with the magnitude of the day, and I knew what was at stake and coming up
Right.
and what it meant if we won. So, everything was felt really rushed. I got over to the ballpark. And you could already feel the buzz. You could see people outside as I was pulling up to the ballpark. You could feel the buzz, you could feel the energy, and walking into the clubhouse, you could feel it right away. Like, okay, like this is really cool. Like I'm here, and it's a really special day. And just being a part of that was awesome. It was really really special. I mean, we all joked. They all joked with me. They were like, "This is what we do every day in the big leagues." So that for that to be my first day in the big leagues was really really cool. And there's actually a really funny story about that day. So it was actually the ninth at this point, but I had been underneath in the cages, staying loose, moving around, swinging a bat. You never know when that opportunity is going to come. So trying to be as ready as I possibly could if that opportunity presented itself, for me to play, pinch hit, play defense, whatever it was, just be ready. And Cal comes down in the ninth, or I guess in between innings, and goes, "I'm hitting for Louis." And
Mm.
so I was on the machine. He goes, "Hey, can I get some?" I'm like, "Yeah, jump in here." He's like, "I'm only taking 5." And I'm not kidding you. It was probably the 5 worst swings I've ever seen off a machine. Horrible. And
That's funny as hell because I thought for sure it was gonna be like, oh, it was gonna be one of those stories where, oh, he had the 5 best swings I've ever seen in my life, and then he went up there and cranked one of the greatest home runs in Mariners history.
no, it was 5 of the probably the worst swings, and he walked out of the cage. And obviously, me and him have known each other for a while now, and we have a great relationship. And I looked right at him, and I tend to, um, kind of a ball buster and someone that likes to
Mm.
keep on the lighter of sides. Um, and I looked at him. I go, "You're exactly where we need you to be." And it was me, Cal, and CJ Gilman, who was up in the big leagues at the time, who's our minor league hitting coordinator. Those were the only people in the cage that know that story, and like who were there for that story.
Ah,
Sure enough, you know, he goes on to hit the homer and all that stuff. And it was funny is when me and him got a chance to see each other out on the field. I think I screamed at him. I told him, I was like, "I told you you're right where we needed you to be."
that's amazing. That's
So
amazing.
really cool.